Cool.
Awesome. All right, I'll be quiet so you can do the thing.
Yeah, so I'll jump right into it real quick. All right. Hello, welcome to Tampon Talk with Mary. Welcome to the show that only airs once a month. Quick story. So I had a few from this period. I don't know why it was particularly terrible, but I was in the bathroom yesterday, and so I've never been pregnant, but from everything of what I've heard of what a mucus plug is, I think I got that when I took out a tampon yesterday, and I went to go kind of just like wipe the area, and I got like a chunk of blood came out, like it was just chilling there. So that was fun, and then I was sort of examining it, wondering why the heck it was so big, and that if I need to see a doctor. I went with no, I think I'm fine. But anyway, that's me. So I'm really excited for today's guest. We have Margaux from Glad Rags in Portland. Yes, so so very cool. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yay! Thank you for inviting me. This is pretty exciting.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. You said before offline that you talk about periods for your job, but some other exciting things about you we'd love to know.
Yeah, so I'm Margaux. I work for Glad Rags, which is a reusable menstrual product company. I do customer service, and I also do inside sales. So my job is pretty much calling people on the phone or answering the phone or answering emails and talking about periods all day. And so I'm pretty comfortable with it, and it's fun. I have a bachelor's of arts in anthropology. I'm a ceramic artist, and I'm a mom.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah.
How many little ones do you have?
I've got two. I have a 2-year-old son, and he's about to turn 3, and then I have an almost 10-year-old daughter, so we've actually been talking about periods a lot lately, because she's right on the verge. That's interesting.
Yeah, but I feel like she's in good hands, especially if that's like what you do, because a lot of girls miss that conversation, but your 10-year-old is gonna be set.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah. So I know one of the things that I get to do is like talk about a horror story of my own.
Yes, tampon terror. Jumping right into your tampon terror story, TM.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have a good one to share.
Okay, so when I was little, I knew about periods, and I was really nervous to get mine because I didn't want my mom to call everybody she knew and tell everybody that I was a woman. So I kind of hid my first period. I was 11. I hid my first couple of periods, actually, and like didn't use any of her stuff, and like went to the store and bought my own secretly. And then one day my mom comes to me, and she has like a pair of underwear that I had stashed because I bled on them. And she brings it up to me, and she's like, Margaux, are you having pooping accidents? And I was like, no, Mom, I have my period. And so that was really embarrassing, because then she proceeded to call everybody she knew and tell them that I had my period. So I didn't really save myself any trouble, and I kind of got extra embarrassed because she thought I was pooping my pants.
I have never heard anybody have the fear that their mom would be sharing it to everybody. It's normal. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. So that's my mom. She called everybody and was like, my daughter's a woman. And I'm like, oh, God. Thanks, Mom.
I had a guest on recently. The episode hasn't gone up yet, or at time of recording has not gone up yet, but she was worried that her mother was going to make a period themed tree in her house. Like she like has holiday themed trees and thought that she was gonna get like a "You're a Woman" tree themed in her house growing up.
That would have been also embarrassing. Yeah. What would you put on a tree like that?
The only thing I could think of is like a string of tampons, but
right, like you could totally make a decoration like that, but that'd be a waste of tampons.
Right.
These things are expensive.
Yeah. But speaking of period products, that's a good segue. Is that you, like you said, you work for Glad Rags. So if you could tell us a little bit about Glad Rags and your unique reusable period products, because that's how I stumbled upon you guys. Is that those kind of stuff that you make?
Oh shoot! Hang on. Sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
The phone is ringing. So.
Oh yeah, we could hit pause. No worries.
Can I get that?
Yeah, you're good.
So Glad Rags is awesome. We do reusable menstrual products. So we make cloth pads that are sustainably sourced. And we also have an in-house designed menstrual cup called the Exo Flow. We do panty liners, day pads, and night pads. We have conventional cotton, and we also have organic cotton products. And our mission here at Glad Rags is to, hang on a second. Our mission is to positively transform the experience of menstruation through reusable menstrual products and relevant education. So we try to educate people a lot on what reusables are. We understand that not everybody's ready to just go for it. And so we take a really gentle approach, like, oh, start with this thing, or, oh, try a menstrual cup, see what you're comfortable with. And it's really exciting because this company started back in 1993, so we're almost at 26 years in business. It started the lady who started it was cloth diapering her child and decided, oh, I'm doing this for my child, I should do this for myself, and started making pads for herself, and it turned into a little business, and then it kind of outgrew the spare bedroom, and now we are available all over the world in retail stores as well as online through our website. And it's just really exciting to see how many people are getting back to using washable menstrual products, because there's a lot of waste involved in disposable products. And so it's exciting, at least for me, to be a part of a movement not only for sustainability reasons, but also like period positivity and being able to have conversations about menstruation.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think that's really neat, because I think what's interesting, at least with the period movement right now, is that I feel like the Me Too movement played a lot into just the being able to have the discussion more openly, but now we can get into the facets of, obviously what you guys have been doing since the 90s is how do we affect the environmental impact of periods. It's like first bringing awareness to it, and now how do we implement it? So I think that's really neat. Yeah. So
it's exciting.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's exciting. I feel like washable products, it's an old idea that's being revisited. Menstrual cups have been around since the 1920s, and then washable rags basically that's what everybody did before like the 1940s and 50s. So and it's so much more comfortable. So it's just kind of really cool how how we've come back to this old idea and really, we're recycling it.
Yeah, and I think it's because I think even the concept of it is an old idea, but it has current environmental change, where I think it's interesting that, say, the time of from 1920 to now, of how much period product waste has been generated since what I think the disposable pad was the 80s. I might be wrong, but from then until now, just how much waste has been generated within that time.
Yeah. Well, so as far as impacts, so the average menstruator will use 12,000 to 16,000 period related items, just throw away that many disposable items, at least in the United States, in their lifetime. So 12 to 16,000, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of waste per person. And, hopefully it's going into the landfills where it doesn't really degrade, for a while. But a lot of times it's going into waterways and stuff and getting into bad places where it shouldn't be. So it's just kind of, I really like the idea of being a part of the washable movement or the reusable movement, where we're reducing waste. We're also getting really comfortable because the products are soft, but also because you get more familiar with your cycle and your periods when you're using washable products or reusable products. So that's been a big positive in my life, and kind of a benefit that I didn't really understand was going to be a benefit when I first started, to become more comfortable with my menses. So.
And then I guess in terms of, what are some challenges that you guys, this is kind of going off of our thing, but what are some, have you guys run into any challenges of either stigma related or people that are hesitant to the idea of reusable pads?
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of why we like to pair education with our products, because people are uncomfortable. They've been told that it's shameful, you need to be quiet in the bathroom, nobody, a lot of period products that are disposables are scented, so you can't smell the menstruation, all these things. And it's just, so a lot of menstruators have really taken that to heart, and you kind of have to break through that barrier of, oh, this is a gross thing. It's no, it happens once a month. It's not gross. It's natural. And, oh, are my things going to get stained? It's well, you're bleeding on them. So you can do things to make sure that they're not that stained, but staining doesn't mean it's not, it's not clean, or it doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It's still going to work. You're bleeding on it. So.
Yeah.
And then I think some people are just so uncomfortable with their bodies, and it can be a really stressful and traumatic time of the month for a lot of menstruators. But I think when I started using washable items, it really changed my relationship with my period in a positive way, because then I knew what was going on. I was more comfortable, and then I just kind of understood what was happening with my body a bit more. And it was, what is it? You get soft, pretty feelings when you use soft, pretty menstrual products. Instead of associating your period with this pile of garbage that's kind of expensive and uncomfortable, so that has been a serious game changer in my life and in my feelings about myself and my period and my natural cycles. So yeah.
Yeah.
That has been a challenge, and we're rising to it, and we do our best to kind of educate folks about the options. So.
Yeah, and that's which is really exciting, because I think I again might be pulling this out of my butt, but like I mean, I know personally I probably spend like $40 to $60, or used to spend like $40 to $60 a month on just the menstrual disposable products. But I mean, this is an option that you're not spending that every single month. And I think I had purchased like period underwear, and that's kind of been on the market, and I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, well, like, I think what she imagines is when you throw it in the washer that, like, menstrual blood gets on everything, and, like, you can't remove it, or, like, whatever it was, or if you're washing it in the sink that it's dirty, or if you're washing it in the bath it's dirty, and, like, I don't know if that's if it's a generational thing or what, but I think that's I could see how you running into those challenges would be really difficult.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that you know, this disconnect with our bodily fluids, thinking that they're all gross and disgusting, is like, when I became a parent, I learned that I was going to get peed and pooped and puked on. It was kind of a crash course in being fine with bodily fluids. And I think, like, it was a natural transition to accept my monthly flow in with all of those things. Because it's just like, okay, well, these are our bodies and this is how it works. So why are we so squeamish about this? And yeah, there's bacteria and things that you don't want to get that in your mouth necessarily, but it's also part of our daily grind. You know, we have to go to the bathroom, and on a monthly basis, menstruators bleed. I mean, most of us bleed once a month, and getting comfortable with that, and like dealing with the fluids that naturally occur with your body. I think that's a really big step in self-acceptance too, and self-love. At least it has been part of my journey, because, you know, like, this is my body and it's cool. It takes me places, like on adventures, and I do fun things, and that's possible because it works, and it won't work without these like getting rid of stuff and taking in food and things. So it's I'm not sure why we're so disconnected with our bodies in that way, but I think it's kind of changing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it could be like a whole like rigmarole of things of, it's like, well, it's women's bodies specifically in this particular case, and there's like a whole deal about how we look at like women and their bodies in comparison to, you know, the rest of society. But I think that you're right, that it is starting to change, and that there's some hope that we can bleed on our things and it's fine, you know?
Yeah.
So how do we support you guys, and how do we we can buy your products, that's one way to do it, but how do we get the word out about Glad Rags and stuff?
So we are on social media. You can find us on Instagram by typing in @GladRagsPads. Same with Facebook. We're on Twitter, and that's just plain old Glad Rags. And then you can go to our website to learn all about our company and all about what we offer, and that's gladrags.com. And when you're on our website, you can try a Panty Liner Plus for really cheap. We will send one to your door for $5.95. and you can sign up for our newsletter, and then you get a 10% off discount, and we do sales, and we have really incredible products. I started using Glad Rags 8 years ago and started working here at the company about a year ago. And when I found out they were hiring, I was really excited. I've been a fan of them for a long time, and that was, I think, part of the reason why I got the job, was because I was already familiar with Glad Rags, and just really excited about being a cheerleader for this company that's done a lot for women getting comfortable with menstruation, and all kinds of folks getting comfortable with their menstruation. So.
Oh, very cool. I was going to say that would probably be why you got hired, is just the enthusiasm.
Yeah. When I was in college, getting that degree in anthropology, I did a study on periods for one of my classes, and just looking at attitudes of periods across the globe. And it's really, it's really hush-hush, and I think that that's really silly. One of the things that I really enjoy about this job is going out and tabling and actually talking with men, people who identify as men who don't menstruate, and talking to them about what menstruation is and what it's like, and how important it is for everybody to understand what it is and what it's like for menstruators. So it's kind of this is my secret mission, is to talk to non-menstruators about menstruation.
Little do they know that they're being impacted. Oh, very cool. Well, did you have any final thoughts or some take-home messages? If somebody skipped to the end of this episode, what should be their takeaway if they missed the whole thing?
Basically that periods are natural, and they happen all the time, all around us, and they affect people, and we can take care of each other and the earth by using washable products that we can use over and over again. And it's not gross, it's natural. So yeah.
Oh, so wholesome. Well, thank you so much for being on, Margaux. If you want to stick around after I close the show so I can thank you offline. But yeah, this has been so wonderful. Yeah. Thank you for being on.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. It's been awesome and an honor, and yeah, keep up the good work in helping, making conversations about periods normal. That's awesome.
Well, thanks. You and me on the battlefield for period positivity. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And we'll throw your Instagram and your Twitter and your Facebook in the description of the episode, as well as your website, so people can click on those as they listen to the episode. And then for other Tampon Talk listeners, is that we are on everything as well. If you have any questions, if you're all right with it, Margaux, if we get any questions in our email, if I could forward them over to you, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, totally. I'm all about it. Hey. Send them.
And you can send those questions to tampontalkwithmary@gmail.com, and we will forward them over to Margaux. And then you can follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook. We're Tampon Talk W Mary on Instagram, and we're Tampon Talk with Mary on Facebook. We're also on Twitter, but I run that, so it's not super active, but you can go ahead and follow it if you'd like. And if you are a bleeder, think about your environmental impact that you're making with your products. Think about all your options. Glad Rags is a great option for you. If you're not a bleeder, maybe help out another bleeder and get them some environmentally friendly period products. But hang in there. We're all doing this together. Keep on bleeding, and we will see you next time on Tampon Talk with Mary. Bye.